If you're a therapist, coach, consultant, or heart-centered entrepreneur, you probably don't like to think of yourself as a content creator. And I get it. You're not out here trying to become an influencer. You're trying to help people. But respectfully, you are creating content all the time. You're creating language for your clients' experiences. You're creating frameworks. You're creating worksheets. You're creating slide decks and presentations. You are creating examples. You're creating ways to help people understand what they are experiencing and what they can do next. That is content, and you are the creator. I need you to wrap your mind around that, right? And we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. I need you to go gather all your ideas. Okay, I'm just playing maybe one. And from that old notebook, that post-it that you got somewhere, that Google Doc, the email, the workshop, the podcast, the episode, like, girl, go shake that thing out, go find it, go pull it. I want you to find that thing, even if it's a random thing on your phone. And don't tell me that you can't find one thing to work with. Because if you don't want that goodness, baby, put it out on the curb so that I can collect it and upcycle it on your behalf. Because I know y'all are dope and your raw material is gold. You just need a way to repackage it. And today I'm going to show you how to take one thing you already created and turn it into multiple pieces of content using AI. And without like sounding generic and fake or like everybody else online. I know that's a thing, but there's something we can do about that. See, AI is most useful when the expert knows what to ask. Anybody, for example, can ask, how do I cure my anxiety? But a real therapist knows that there are layers to that, right? And that requires deeper questions, right? Is this panic, trauma, perfectionism, grief, avoidance, a nervous system that's activated? Do you need exposure, medication, or a simple grounding practice? The better the question, the better the direction. And it's the same thing with content. That's why I know if y'all can do your jobs well, you can show up in this space and use AI, chat, Claude, whatever your favorite thing is, you can use it in your favor. All right. Anybody, I mean, anybody can write a post, right? You can go in the chat and just say, like, write me a post, right? And I think that's where we see that like generic thing happening. But when you bring your expertise and you mix in things like your audience, your voice, your offer, and your actual material, like I'm going to show you how to do, we now have something quality to work with, right? So let me show you. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take like my script from this thing today. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to recreate that into more content. But first, this is what it looks like when it's just like a very generic thing. It's going to look like something like this, right? Like, and even this actually is not that bad. We're telling it, what we needed to do, what we want from it, giving it your tone that's going to help you a lot. So what I did here was I took this to like the umpteenth degree because I want Chatty to really know what I need. And I gave it a whole lot more detail. So that same like little paragraph that you saw, I gave it so much more information so they can give me more information, right? And what I'm going to do is use my same script that I used for this conversation. I'm going to plug that into here. Remember when I said like ask it the right questions? Well, that's what I did, right? I looked at like my core offer. I looked at the specific pain point of my audience. I looked at or asked it for what I wanted. I wanted like the strongest point that my avatar would resonate with, right? I added who my people are, and you know your people, right? Like because the idea is we're going to recycle or upcycle the things that we already use. And upcycling means that we take one thing and we create something else, right? But I gave it the detailed instructions, right? And even Chatty agreed with me. It was like, yes, this is a strong framework. It gives me enough direction. Okay, beautiful. So, and because I asked it for more, like it gave me more at first, right? So it's going to give me the pain point, the strongest line from my material that I put in there, and it's going to give me some more feedback. And then it's going to tell me 10 ways that I can repurpose this. right? So I want you to see 10 different ways that you can take your one idea and make it into something else, right? So like it gave me a reel, for example, gave me two reels, like stop saying you don't know what to post. And that comes from my script. I think I say it later down in this episode. Don't tell me that you don't know what to post, right? And it's giving me the hook. It's telling me to reuse that. It's giving me a goal. It's giving me a call to action, right? So, but what I did when I saw these, I scrolled down. Like we don't just accept everything to just accept it just because. Some of it, I didn't really like how it sounded like this one. AI works better when there's expertise behind the prompts. I didn't really want to be that person that just talks about AI. Like that's not really the core of what I do. The core of what I do is really, again, getting to helping you leverage your expertise, but looking at that from like an emotional place, like why do we get in the way? Why can't we follow through? And AI for me is a tool, but it's not necessarily like my full framework, not what I practice from. So I felt like that was giving that and a few other ones, even though there's a lot that I love here. So far you can get a reel, you can get a carousel, you can get your LinkedIn post, an email, etc. But like I said, I wanted to dial it in a little bit more. And I'm telling you this because you might want to dial it in too. You may get something that you're like, that's not quite it, or this is what I like and this is what I don't. Tell Chatty that. You can hit this little record button and talk into it and tell Chatty that, right? Or you can just write it in. Like I've got something I'm going to write in, but I just want to show you first some of what came out. So boom, my first one is a carousel. 7 places your next post is probably hiding. Great. So now I just wrote my script to come talk to you guys. From that script, it's now giving me this is the next thing you could do with this. Like you don't just have to have this script and be done. I can take the information. I say I have a Chatty just did it for me and turn it into a 7 places your next post is probably hiding. And I can create that now. I can go into Canva and craft this up really quickly. It tells me the potential slides. It tells me the angle, right? And I can take this even further so it really breaks it down bit by bit. If I want to do like another reel on this, maybe on YouTube or maybe on Instagram, it's giving me that, right? I have a community for other women in business who are working on this. Look, it gave me a whole community challenge. Okay, create nothing this week. Right. And I'm like, okay, that's really dope and creative. And you don't have to create anything because you already have it. So why not challenge the community to do that? Right. So do you see that? So you should be excited that you can take one thing and upcycle it and make more from it, which makes our life so much easier. I started to put this in here and I left it here so you could see it do its thing. Can you make an image of the 5 best ways for me to upcycle my content? I can use it as a post, so do it in IG sizing, right? So I want to maybe have a visual because Chad is also really good at creating images now. I think that's something that's kind of leveled up. So it's like now you can